Hey, what's going on, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Ryan Huggins here, aka Win with Ryan. I hope you are ready for some massive news coming this week. Are you ready for a huge $2,000 check landing in your pocket? But what if it's just the beginning of a wild ride that could shake the whole entire crypto market? Plus, the uniparty government finally made a decision to come together, and they look like they have made a decision to open back up the government. So a lot of great fundamental catalysts coming for you this upcoming week. So stick with me because I'm about to break it all down for you, the latest moves and how you can stay ahead of the game for this fast-moving world that is crypto. And we'll be heading over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the finance world this week. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Thune states an agreement is nearly made. Will crypto get a great relief this upcoming week? And we'll check in with the red folder news that you need to know about with the financial system. And at the end of the video, we will be jumping into the charts for XRP. We're going to be looking at important levels of support and resistance that you need to know about this week. Plus, we're going to be looking at long-term and short-term momentum waves, and so much more in today's video. So if you're like most people where you don't get the opportunity to spend hours a day doing crypto research, well, make sure you just subscribe right here, right now, because that's what we do for you every single day. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let us know by commenting 777 down below.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
Kicking this video off over here, CoinMarketCap, looking at the overall health of the crypto market. We are trading at $3.56 trillion total market cap. We are up 3.89% in the last 24 hours. Volume ticking up a tad. We're at $160 billion in the last 24 hours. And looking at this chart objectively, we may have had a double bottom here, leading to a nice rally over the next couple of days. We will have a resistance coming into play here at 3.6 trillion total market cap. Then we will see if we can surge back up to the 3.8 and then finally make our way back to the $4 trillion mark, which when we zoom out on the time frame, we have not been above $4 trillion since October 9th. Fear and greed index sitting at 29 out of 100 in the fear zone, making its way to the neutral zone shortly, or will it continue to collapse over the next couple of days back into extreme fear? We will be getting into those charts at the end of the video with some positive news. Altcoin season index ticking up a little bit here as well, 31 out of 100. Last week, we were all the way in pure Bitcoin season at 22 out of 100. Bitcoin dominance dropping below 60 again, currently sitting at 59.2. It was back in the 60 range on November 4th. The lower we go on dominance, the more likelihood we have an altcoin season. Top 6 cryptos by total market cap. Bitcoin number 1 at 105,783. Ethereum number 2 at 36.22, Tether at $1 at number 3, XRP moving its way back up, XRP number 4 at $2.40, but we're only $40 billion away from taking back that number 3 spot. BNB number 5 at $1,010, and Solana at number 6 at $167. Red folder news you need to know about this week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, nothing extreme coming out as far as financial news on the docket. However, as you just heard, we will be getting into a little deeper. The government may be reopening on Monday, and there is potential of $2,000 stimulus checks coming out. So I'm sure we'll get a lot more news and some volatility coming along with that. But we do have major reports coming later this week. The CPI numbers and unemployment claims coming at the end of the week. With all of these things coming together, we've got people bull posting on crypto Twitter again. As we see here, James Bull, alt season has just started, my friends. Looks like we get 6 to 8 weeks of hyper gambling until the first week of January. And here are those fundamental catalysts. Monday, U.S. government shutdown will end. Tuesday, FOMC rate cut. Wednesday, Fed prints $1.5 trillion. Thursday, S&P earnings come out. Friday, crypto legalization bill signed. Saturday, tariff deadline. The biggest bull run in history starts tomorrow. Now, hold the brakes there because none of these things are officially going to be good news. We're optimistic leading into those days, but some great catalysts that could be happening this upcoming week. Popular crypto influencer is sounding the alarms here. Christopher Green says breaking $2,000 stimmies for every American and massive hyperinflation. So everyone's really excited about this $2,000, but what we're not paying attention to is the fact that hyperinflation will follow behind that. The US dollar has officially collapsed before the stablecoin reset. 50-year mortgages also coming, announced by Trump's team, will hyperinflate the US dollar even more and only benefits BlackRock and the too big to fail banks. Massive pandemonium and bank runs ahead. Exit the banks now and buy Bitcoin, Litecoin before all-time highs by year end. God be with you. Now, of course, all of this is financial entertainment education. Do not buy or sell anything we talk about on this channel. But let's take a little listen to what Christopher Green has to say.
All right, folks, breaking news, Donald Trump has announced 2K stimmies, massive hyperinflation is coming to the United States. Last time we got stimmies was during the lockdowns that the government, of course, locked everyone in their house in 2020, fear-mongered everybody. All that did was push more capital, more debt, more hyperinflation into the U.S. stock market, into crypto. Remember, I told you to buy Bitcoin under 1,000, under 3,500. Then it soared to 100K, which was my exact prediction. Now I'm telling you we're going to break new all-time highs by year end, and it's going to $1 million. And my long-term prediction has always been $3 to $5 million. So we're going 10, 30, 50x in Bitcoin. Now, in addition to that, Donald Trump, Bill Pulte, and others also announced a 50-year mortgage will be announced to the American people imminently. What does that do? Creates more inflation, more debt, enriches the banks more, makes the American people a serf, a slave. Think about it. You're 40 years old, you die at 78, you'll still have a decade longer left in your mortgage when you're in the grave. And you won't start amortizing the debt down, I think, until after 20 years. Yes, there's a beautiful rainbow behind me because God's covenant. See, it's a dome, folks. It's a freaking dome. The moon's up there. It's a freaking dome.
Personally, I absolutely love Christopher Green. He puts out some great content, very hyped up as well. So great stuff there. Interesting takes on what is coming. Now, the other thing that no one is talking about is these 2K stimulus checks are going to be exciting for your average everyday person. But remember what happened during those lockdowns that he talked about is that they also sent out these small, medium, and large business bailouts as well. Remember, you could get a loan that you would literally never have to pay back if you qualified. And lots of people, as you know, some of it was fraudulent, but a lot of those bigger, bulkier, $1 million giant relief checks for those businesses also went into crypto. So that $1,200 stimulus that everybody got, yeah, maybe some of those people put it into crypto, but it was really the other liquidity that came behind it that seriously surged the markets. Thomas Massey posting out there, how is here, enjoy your 50-year mortgage, which is different from you will own nothing and you will like it. Well, if you really evaluate those two things, they're exactly the same thing. Now, if you remember the person who said you will own nothing and like it, everybody went nuts and shunned that guy. And obviously he eventually stepped down from his position. Let me know down in the comments section if you know who I'm talking about. But that does also play into what Christopher was saying here. You were going to get a house at 40. You're going to buy it. By the time you die at 70, it's not even going to be paid off. So it's just renting from the banks for the rest of your life. But it sounds like you're owning it, which there are possible ways that could benefit you. And you also don't only have to get 50. You can still get the 30 or the 15 or the 10. And it is all up to you. But it does give people an opportunity to actually at least buy their own home instead of renting an apartment. Satoshi Flipper also says last time Trump gave Americans a stimmy check, it was the CARES Act, and adults got $1,200 plus $500 for their children. It was signed into law March 27th. The 2020 stimulus checks ignited the biggest crypto bull run in history, turning $1,200 into $12,000 if you had invested in Bitcoin. Within days of receiving the stimulus checks, both Coinbase and Binance report surges in $1,200 Bitcoin buys, exact matches to the check amounts. Within 6 weeks, Bitcoin pumped 50% from 6,800 to 10,000. During the broader run, Bitcoin ran from 3,850 to 69,000. ETH went from $120 to 4,800, and the total market cap went from 180 billion to 3 trillion. We're just barely above those levels now. Imagine fading the Trump stimulus while sitting on your butt sidelined and crying, listening to washed up crypto Twitter accounts doom posting daily. It won't be me. And that again is from Satoshi Flipper. And I agree with some of this, but I don't know if it's going to have the surge capability without the business loans behind it. And this was just literally everywhere. So I'm just showing you the posts that I saved along the way. Trump announces American citizens will receive the tariffs dividend. Here's the actual post, by the way. People that are against tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. 401ks are higher than ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt of 37 trillion. Record investment in the United States, plants and factories going up all over the place, a dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. Now, one of the biggest responses that I've seen to this post was people responding with, I would rather you just stop the income tax. Because if you remember, the tariffs were supposed to be taken up by the External Revenue Service, which they've been doing and they've taken it in. And it was supposed to be replacing the IRS or Internal Revenue Service. So instead of taxing the people, it was going to tax other countries that want to sell goods into the United States. And I'm hoping that that is still on the agenda going forward. Also, big news, as we talked about in the intro, the Senate Majority Leader Thune states that an agreement is nearly ready. Democrats are ready to bring bills to stop the government shutdown, with at least 10 Senate Democrats expected to support the plan, according to Axios. And crypto could definitely get a relief as the U.S. Senate cuts a deal to end the shutdown here. Crypto markets could get a lift as Political reports the U.S. Senate has reached that deal that we were just talking about on a multiple part budget bill to end the government shutdown. Pending legislation to fund the U.S. government has more than enough support to pass that 60 vote threshold. This was Leader John Thune's 15th attempt to win Democrat support over a House bill, putting the record 40-day government shutdown within reach. Bitcoin's fall over the past month saw it drop by double-digit percentage points on October 10th after U.S. President Donald Trump announced 100% tariffs on China, when that sent shockwaves through the markets. Bitcoin rallied 266% after the last government shutdown was lifted. That was late December 2018 and late January following that year. So two really positive catalysts happening on a Sunday night, letting us know that there's potential relief coming for the crypto markets in the days coming. And jumping over to the XRP charts, the relief was literally right on time. Coincidental? Maybe, but this typically happens. Coincidences are not really coincidences. What I mean by that, what we talked about specifically was price had come down. This is the weekly charts here, and it has been supported by the 50-week exponential moving average. Now, we did get a wick below it, but look at the body here, the body here, body here, body here, all maintaining above that level. If we would have lost this level, there's potential of dropping a significant deeper amount, because then we would have to switch over to the 1 month chart. And if we take a look here on the 1 month chart, there's 20 days left. We would have then broken below the 10 exponential moving average on the weekly with a body candle closed down here. Not to say that that's not still a possibility, because there's 20 days left in this. So we need to see some positive momentum here. But that could have dropped us all the way back into the 30 exponential moving averages on the month at $1.65. That was a real possibility. That coincides also with one of our supply and demand zones here. But when we switch to the daily charts, we can see we have had couple of days, we did actually bounce off of one of our very important supply and demand zones right down here at the bottom with the bodies there. Now, the one thing I'm not excited about is that the long-term momentum is still bearish. We've been talking about this now since it had a breakdown here. We were talking about flipping to bearish all the way back here, September 22nd. And then we were hoping it'd be a quick relief and then a rally to the upside. It only lasted a couple of days when it broke back down. So we've actually been in bear energy since October 6th, when that guy had predicted that October 6th was going to be the all-time high for Bitcoin of this cycle. Now, this is the XRP charts we're looking at here, but we have had a couple of consistent rallied up to the upside days. We are now breaking above bullish momentum-wise, above the 10 exponential moving average. But this is what we've been talking about here, right, ladies and gentlemen? That short-term momentum had reset to zero. That midterm momentum had also reset to zero. It's finally official, actually, 2 days ago, that midterm momentum also reset to zero because it was lagging. But boom, double bottoms here on this momentum wave. Last time we saw the short-term momentum move up, we had a pretty decent rally, but midterm following along with it. We ended up actually rallying up from this level here to 35 up to 269, 270. So a decent little run there, even though we were still bearish energy down here. So over the next 3 days, let's watch this long-term momentum. If it can continue rallying to the upside, this is the Wolfpack indicator. You can use this. It's free for trading view. Fast length 10, slow length 30. Go ahead and use that. And that's going to give you this here, this setup. Last time we had a rally after a breakdown, this was our rally here from the same exact price levels right here. This $2.20 level, price started moving up. Long-term, short-term momentum, short-term and mid-term momentum, long-term momentum followed with it. Super surge to new all-time highs. So as we rally up on the daily chart, we are still showing bearish. As far as our exponential moving averages on the daily, we flip to the 12-hour. We're still bearish here technically, bearish long days, but look at this. Short-term, mid-term have rallied up. We look at the 4-hour here. We have actually finally broken back to bullish on the 4-hour. Short-term, mid-term have maxed out though. There's a likelihood of a reset here of the short-term and then another rally to the upside. If we take a look at where our 4-hour 1100 exponential moving average is, it's right here at $2.60. Now let's take a look at our weekly spider lines chart. So this is a very busy chart. As we can see here, we're on traditional candles and we'll switch to logarithmic. And we can see that the spider lines held up pretty good. There was a liquidity drip down below here, but we've now broken back above this spider line, which actually comes to us from the past. If we highlight this specific spider line, this is from January 22nd, 2018, the drop of 2018 with the pivot point and the high of April 2021. Shoots out into the future, giving us this spider line. Now we have another one right here above us. We're looking for bullish energy up to $2.82. After that, back into the threes, up here at $3.68. Daily short-term momentum rallying, long-term still lackluster. We need to see that push up there. And what we also talked about yesterday was the fact that our long-term momentum on the weekly is still bullish. We're still green, and it is getting back close to the zero line or center line, and it would be nice to see a turn back to the upside here. Short-term, mid-term momentum. Short-term has zeroed for sure. It's at zero. Mid-term momentum, not quite there yet. However, we could see a flip back to the upside. As we saw in this scenario right here, short-term is zeroed out and made its move. We do have our brand new weekly candle that just opened. We have 6 days, 22 hours left in that. So we want to see bullish to the upside. What we're really looking for here also is to, now that we're supported by the 50 exponential moving average, we need to break back above the 30. And we can see the 10 exponential moving averages here as well, which will drop below the 30 here shortly. So this needs to rally up this week over the next 7 days above XRP needs to rally above $2.65 this week. That would show some really nice bullish energy coming into play.
If you have 10K or more in crypto, you're literally giving up an extra $300 per month in passive income. You're giving up on a free 3 to 8% additional monthly yield just because it's sitting on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance and you're being lazy. You're taught to hodl, just wait for price appreciation, and this is costing you thousands of dollars. So let's see what happens here. While your assets are sitting there doing absolutely nothing and inflation is kicking your ass. For example, Ethereum didn't do anything over the course of 3 months. XRP didn't do anything over a whole year. And Solana, same thing. It didn't do anything for an even longer period of time while you sat there making no money. And I'm not saying that these are bad investments. It's quite the opposite, actually. But the smartest investors in the world make their crypto work for them to generate additional yield. And why would you not do that? You're holding these crypto assets anyways. It's like buying a rental property and not renting it out. If you hold on to the property because you believe that it's going to appreciate in value over years, why wouldn't you rent it out so someone else can pay your mortgage while you still get the value appreciation? So it makes no sense to just hold your crypto without earning yield on your idle coins. And if you're just holding your crypto on exchanges like Coinbase, your assets aren't safe. In fact, Coinbase was hacked for $400 million and the hackers bribed Coinbase employees so they could access sensitive user information, demanding a $20 million ransom from Coinbase, which the company refused to pay.
I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom.
And I even received a letter in the mail saying that my information was included in that hack. So I'm speaking from firsthand experience here, not just an article that I read online. So not only are you leaving free money on the table by not earning yield on your idle crypto, but you're also putting yourself at risk of losing it all, getting hacked, or having your account frozen by keeping your crypto on centralized exchanges. Because if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. You already know this, so I don't have to tell you. You can't afford to be lazy with your capital. The US is drowning in nearly $40 trillion in debt, so this is your insurance against the system. To learn how you can earn passive income on your coins every single day while protecting your capital from hacks or scammers, my research team put together a step-by-step tutorial for you to start earning yield on your crypto today, and it takes less than 10 minutes to get set up. All you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com after you're done watching this video, create your account, and click on the Start Here lesson under the classroom, and you'll discover how one liquidity pool is earning our members up to 40% yield on digital assets that they already own. Plus, you can go into the DeFi yield picks and see even more opportunities to earn passive income on your coins safe and predictably with complete control and ownership of your assets. You will make significantly more money by being your own bank. And all you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com to get started right now.